Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
Scared that my biggest fear, more than rape or assault, was what if I have to do more than 2 months? Because I've prepared for 2, I can do the 2, but what if they were to give me 6 more? That would really break my spirit, I feel like, because I can see the end of the tunnel. But if I get there and it's like an RPG game and I got to make a left and like continue my mission, I'm gonna lose it. And I was terrified that out of spite, somebody was gonna get me dirty. Yep. They were gonna put some fucking drugs or some contraband in my locker, or maybe either to intentionally get me and then maybe even go rat me out and say, hey, Kyle's got this, go look. Or maybe they would just be like, oh shit, they're coming, white boy's locker, and do that, and then try to like come back later and retrieve it from my locker, use my locker as a hiding space. So one morning my buddy Snow comes to pick me up to go work out, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna go, man. And he's like why? And David, at the time I had 2 cellmates, and David was this Mexican guy, and he explains in Spanish to Snow, so like nobody would overhear, he's afraid that somebody's going to come and put something in his locker. And Snow goes, oh, yeah, they might. And I was like,
wait, so like, was it wide knowledge, like when somebody was going to get out or when you were getting close?
People would ask and I'd tell. Snow was like, somebody asked you, you don't say 60 days, you say 60 months. Yeah. So Snow goes back to his locker and he comes back with a lock and a little post-it with a combination on it, and here you go, here's your combination, here's your lock, let's go work out. And I was like, yeah, I like this guy. I hope he's not the one who's going to get me dirty, though, because he knows the combination.
Man, a guy named Snow who was in there for trouble with like cocaine distribution is so
methamphetamine,
cool. Cocaine's cooler to think about. I'm
gonna run with it.
But yeah, you guys weren't here last week, obviously, but Kyle, you can expound on it a little bit. When he got there, people apparently, when you go to prison, you're like, I'm there for 2 months. They're like, this guy snitched at another prison. He just got transferred here for the last little bit of his stint.
Oh, shit. Or he's on that TV show, 60 Days and Out.
There was talk that I was on some sort of fucking reality show, or that
I've watched,
or that I wasn't a prisoner at all. I was some sort of like undercover, or that I was, someone who'd snitched somewhere else and was being brought here to be here, or, to do my last little bit or something like that. And I was just like, no, I just had a good lawyer.
How do you prove that too? Because you can't prove
you stab someone.
You can't.
I don't have any paperwork. Like I don't have any paperwork or anything that like shows like what I don't have nothing like on paper. And if I were a real snitch, I could get some fake paperwork. I'm sure if I were some sort of like, if you're that 60 days in like guy, there probably is some fake paperwork. Like, here, if I ask you, tell them you're a BR-17, that means you're one of the good ones. They won't mess with you. Meanwhile, those guys get raped. One of those guys got raped that was on that fucking TV show. I hope it was worth it for him. His 15 minutes of fame was in the shower.
Did he win the money?
I don't know if there's money to be won.
There's no money?
I don't think so. There's no money? It's like Survivor with syphilis.
Did he get raped because he was on the show? Like they found out he was on the show?
I think that they didn't. I think that they just thought he was like a vulnerable guy and they raped him. I don't know the whole story. I'm just positive that one of the guys from 60 Days In got raped while he was in.
My gosh.
And yeah. So like I was real scared about that, about someone, because I would have nightmares about it, like about getting in trouble, like enough trouble that they give you more time. And I think that what would happen, like if I had drugs specifically, is like maybe I'd have to go back in front of the judge and he would give me like another 4 months or so, or like I don't know what they could do. I don't know exactly, but it wouldn't be good, it wouldn't be good at all. And I was real worried about that. So I was very appreciative for Snow giving me a fucking lock. You could buy a lock in the commissary, but I was going to have to wait a whole nother week. And I didn't know if locks were the cool thing to do anyway. Like, yo, what you locking your shit up for? You think I'm going to steal?
Yeah.
It's like, aren't you in here for a Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
I'm going to drive away with your Fritos.
You were going to tell us about Snow and Chomos. What was the scoop there?
Oh, yeah. All right. So,
Chomo is...
Did I tell you about the drawing?
No, but the audience might not know what a chomo is.
Good. A chomo is a child molester.
Oh, okay.
They be fucking with them kids. So this guy had been in the medium security prison. He said that the chomos, they hang out in the library because when the newspapers come in, they want to get the advertisements, all the coupons and shit, because maybe they get like a Kohl's catalog with a bunch of little kids in swimsuits, and they were cutting that shit
There's
out.
some
So
hot
they-
kids in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh shit, son! The spring catalog for Huggies is out.
The boys' baby gap came in.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, she got her floaties on.
Oh, Jesus.
So they're cutting this shit out, and that's their pornography. And so he was very sensitive to this because apparently they rough those guys up in medium security. That's pretty regular. They've got their own like wing, or their own unit. They keep them to themselves because. And imagine if you're just like, I feel like you should distinguish between sexual crimes, although some people might find that to be offensive. Child molester is a bit different than a rapist to me. All right, rapists are awful human beings, but child molesters are the bottom of the barrel. And to me, like, I don't think you should throw the rapist necessarily in there. Especially like maybe the date rapist.
Where do you
all right?
stack
Or the,
rank murderers in this, Kyle?
I'd rather
Well, there's
chill
no
with a murderer
stereotype.
than a
I
rapist.
don't know if we
Getting,
need to
like, beat
tier
up.
list like all of these crimes.
Welcome to
But
the show,
I
Tucker.
can agree that, like, you know, like it's like there's different tiers of awfulness, you know, like
different
6
tiers
and
of
7
awfulness.
layer of hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
There's a Dante's Inferno catalog of these guys, and
Well, in
and
jail, it just makes itself apparent. I imagine, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody just is like, these are the rules. Like this is what we're doing.
yeah, like they don't get if you murdered or even if you raped, they didn't seem to care. But by the way, there were no rapists in there with me. At least none of them had been caught for rape. That's a very important thing to distinguish because people are like, oh, nobody's in there for violent crime. No. Nobody's in there who was found guilty of a violent crime. There are criminals in there. And when you're a criminal, it's like, oh, she's a baker. She's probably never made any cupcakes before, though. It's like,
Yeah.
no, she's probably made cupcakes and cake pops. She probably made an ice cream cake one time with a cousin. Like there was that one time when she made some cupcakes. She's done it all. She's probably made candy too. You know?
She was actually only convicted of solely baking gay cakes. No matter what you asked for, it was very, very gay.
So there are guys in there who like to draw portraits, and they'll charge for the service. Very talented guys, and one guy would charge $5 max, and he would draw a portrait for you. You gave him a photograph of your loved one, he would draw it. Very cool portraits. I wished that I had photographs to like get that done too. I wish I had like the three of us from the show and like do like a group picture. I thought that would have been like a prison group
That'd be
picture of the
cool.
three of us.
Yeah.
So this Indian guy who was actually Terry Cruz's brother-in-law's cellmate, Snow called him Indio because he didn't know his real name. He called Isaac Black because he was black. Not very creative.
And he
I know.
called you Blanco, which is white.
He called me Weto, which is
Weto,
white.
that's right.
Or Sleepy because I slept a lot.
That's so we're sleepy.
Yeah. I had a cool prison name.
Hey, yo, sleepy, get over here.
Fucking one of the 7 dwarves. Like,
Come here and meet my homies, drowsy and dopey.
And rapey. Rapey really wants to meet you. So the Indio wants to draw something for anybody because he likes it. So I guess Snow gives him a photograph of Snow's grandson. And so the Indian guy draws it very well, and he gives it back, the drawing. And he's like, yo, what's this right here on my grandson's arm? And he's like, oh, I signed it. And he's like, looks like my little grandbaby got a tattoo. My grandbaby don't got no tattoos. He's 3 years old, yo. And he's like, oh, well, I always signed them. You know, he's like, I don't understand. You know, I could just erase it, put it in the corner. How about that?
Sign the back.
And he's like, yeah, I like that better. You know, sign it somewhere else, maybe. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm going to take it. I'll move that, and I'm going to make a copy for myself. And he's like, what you want a copy of my grandbaby for? And so he comes to me the next day, and he's like, yo, I think Indio's a chomo.
Oh, fuck.
We're out there running, and I'm just like, nah, man, I don't think so. He's a real chill guy, you know. He's in here for some kind of fucking computer fraud or some bullshit, you know. He's doing finance. He's like a computer coder, you know. He's just a nerd. He's scared, dude. He's told me he's a cool guy. I talked to him a lot. He's right next to me. Nah, wants a picture of my grandbaby. I think he's a chomo. In medium, we know how to handle the chomos. And I'm just like, man, I don't think you need to be handling nobody. You know, I think if you just voice your concerns to him, like, and wait a minute, goddamn, who am I talking to? Yeah, man, maybe he's a chomo. Yeah, you're gonna have to represent for the family. You know, you can't let this get out. You know, it'd be a real dishonor. You're gonna have to represent. But I don't do any of that because he might murder the poor man. So I'm just like, nah, I'm trying to chill him out, but it's not working. So at the end of our workout, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him. And I'm like, you're just gonna talk to him though, right? Probably.
Shit.
Depends what he says back is what he means. And so like the next day we're running our lap and he's over there doing his chin-ups with the 40 pounds of weight tied to his waist. And I'm watching him as I do, because I'm not interested in any of that. And the Indian guy and Isaac run past doing their lap. And he goes, yo, Indio. And Indio looks over with this look I've never seen on a grown man's face before. That I can only terror, just terror. He's just like, just that, like this grimace of fear, and he was already, he's breathing hard because he's running, and he's, yeah, morning, and he's like, yeah, and he just picks up the pace and keeps on fucking, and I'm like, did you talk to Indio yesterday? Yeah, we straightened that all out. Like, fuck. I don't even want to know what he said to him. I know he threatened him. I know he did. He probably asked him if he was a chomo. It seems so
Well, how
easy
do you
to fuck up in there.
I was gonna say, how do you clear your name? It's like, no, I definitely don't like kids. Like,
I got some pictures of some grown woman. Jerk off to this. Let's see.
Yeah.
No.
You're just sitting there. It's like, I can't get
Say no more, Snow. This is my core
Hey,
competency.
everybody, come here. He's gonna prove he's not a chomo. Look at it, it's all flaccid. Oh, you don't like a grown woman, do you? All right, bring my little grandbaby over here and my knife.
Shit. Oh man.
No, you never know what.
Wait, what's the knife for?
Oh,
We're back to
the
sounding.
knife is for you, Wetzo.
Sounding.
Kyle, hold the knife.
I can just picture you there, like, I just want to go have chili and read the rest of Harry Potter.
I tried to get Snow into Harry Potter.
Why would you think that would work?
I don't know. Because, during our runs, I'd tell him about what I was reading. And, I'm 4 books into the Harry Potter series. I've read it before. I like it. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's this little wizard kid. He didn't know he's a wizard. He's evil wizard. Voldemort's trying to... Voldemort? What? Yes, it's this Voldemort guy. Who? The bad guy's trying to get him. And, he's going to wizard school and he falls in love and does magic and trying to explain this shit to him. He's like, yeah, I'd like to read some of that. So I give him books 1 and 2. He never made it out of chapter 1. Hey man,
I just thought I would tell you this shit's fucking dumb. Nobody's fighting chomos or anything. If I ever go to prison, I want a Snow. I need a Snow, a savior,
It sounds
someone
like
to help.
you got a good draw. You got a good hand for your 2 months.
No.
I have his full name.
He made a good hand.
I did my best to make friends with Mr. Snow. I have his real name and his prison number written down in there. I'm gonna next week I'll look him up online and I'll get a picture of Snow. Hopefully, I should be able to look it up and I'll be able to show.
Oh yeah, if you have
guys.
your
Can we
prison
send him like
number
some
and stuff.
presents?
Yeah, you could send him cash. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Was it through
Well,
JPay?
I was thinking more like ironic, funny gifts.
You can send him books and letters.
Ooh, children's
Oh,
catalogs.
he would love Harry Potter. We'll send him Harry Potter.
Send him a Baby Gap catalog.
It's not cheating.
No,
Dude, that is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. That the chomos hanging out in the library waiting for issues of Toddlers Monthly, which are for some reason subscribed to the prison to show up so they can cut out pictures of babies wearing Uggs or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that is how
wild.
are they just wanting to get fucked with and beat up?
Well, there's just no attempt to rehab them, right? Like not at all in prison.
I don't know.
How do you rehab a fetish?
I ended on that note. I love the
That was the
wordplay.
best
Very
shit
nice.
I've ever heard.